Thank you very much, gentlemen. Time for game number 86 as we go over to Miramar once again. And we're going to head over to our commentary team for the desert one final time today. It is going to be Lee D-Man Smith with our next mystery guest.
Who could it be? We will find out in a moment. If you're listening eagerly before, you'll know. But oh my god, this plane path is horrible. That is just a disaster of a plane path for anybody that wants to try and get over towards the western side of the map. FaZe Clan out early, Winstrike, M19, obviously all looking to get Valdemar and further afield. DA should be fine with Commissera. Navi going south. Raise your edge again. Porto Paraíso for them. Now, most people should be able to get San Martin, Hacienda, El Zahar. Everybody's kind of okay for that. So most people have adjusted. The Knights, it's going to be a bit of a long drop for them to get to Power Grid. They may even take a couple of shots from Team Liquid if they find some guns in the air. It's the southwestern corner that I'm interested in. Winstrike, they're going for the island. They're looking to try and get vehicles and blast through Valle del Mar, I think, before M19 get there. It looks like FaZe Clan trying to do similar as well. G2, actually moving on from the death segment, what they were just talking about, edge strategy teams. I think what maybe Martin meant, I don't know whether he meant Navi or whether he meant G2. G2, the team that play edge and have played edge throughout the season. They absolutely could benefit and just did benefit from the previous matchup. Similar circle, though, down on the south side. This time, Los Leones kind of centered up there. Navi, of course, down on the south. And moving on, joining me for this one, Fuzz going to get revived. Oh, okay, so that's interesting. So that's M19 that must have took shots. And I was talking about M19, FaZe, and Winstrike all down in this bottom corner getting caught out. Looks like Fuzz will get back on his feet. Won't have any meds, won't have anything, in fact. And you can see Mexi also with nothing. This is a horrible start for FaZe Clan. But going back, Martin joins me, Avenger, on the mic, on the caster mic. The duo is back in action. It hasn't been seen since GLL Season 2. Grand Finals, where poor old Kramer, who's playing for Vitality right now, had a bit of a mare
he did.
in his 1v1. But anyway, Martin, I'm going to carry on from that death segment you just had. Obviously, you said Navi. Yeah, of course they were center because that's where they bloody land. That's why I felt you wanted to say to Froz.
I did.
So I'll say that for you on the air. But a team that does play edge and is benefiting from this is G2, of course.
Obviously, G2 is playing it, especially on circles like this where they were far away. But what my point also was from the desk was that if Navi, they realized that last week and playing center is a bad strat for them and everything else has been working for them so far, if they go back to the usual strat, while everybody else is playing a lot center heavy, we're going to see it paying off more for them compared to how it's been going so far.
It's now 12 points, isn't it, between FaZe Clan in second place and Navi in first place. And the reason I'm mentioning that, yes, they're of course confirmed for GLL, but that's a $25,000 difference. That's pretty big. $350,000 prize pool here, of course, at the PEL Phase 2. $300,000 at GLL Grand Slam as well. There's a lot of money on the line for these teams over the next couple of weeks. These boys that are all in the top 5, we don't know who they're going to be in the top 5 right now. Just talking to Joachim from GLL outside, and he's just like, we're still kind of waiting. Who's going to be that 5th place so we can figure out our video footage and who they're going to clip. And this is the nightmare that teams and tournament organizers have as well. It's not just the teams.
The lucky thing is that they already know the first 4 teams, right?
That's true.
Imagine if everything was much more open and there was 3 or 4 teams there for them. But obviously they can start their recordings and we can start some more NA versus EU banter and actually show that EU has the better banter, because clearly the last try from NA that was not even close to being banter.
Well, I mean, look, okay. From NA's point of view, yes, sure, they got second place at Face It. They still didn't bloody win it, did they? When was the last time an NA team won a tournament?
Cloud9 for PGL4.
I was going to say it's probably PGL, yeah.
When FaZe Clan, they hot dropped them in Pochinki.
Yeah. And that was how long ago?
An actual hot drop, not a contest. Contesting is when you want to take over people's loot spot, but hot dropping is when you want to contest them directly for their points. You want to take them out early and want to make sure that you finish them off so you can get more points. So obviously,
that's like over a year ago now, right?
No, PTL4
it was somewhere
it was September,
was it
October.
The summer? Yeah, it was end of summer, right?
I think it was September, October, something like that. So it's It's 9 months ago or so. So they obviously they played that well, but obviously I'm so sad Lazarus is not going to be a GLL.
Wasn't Frolicker playing in that team? Who's the now?
No.
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 Was he not? In
It was the OG or the new Cloud9. They obviously made a roster change, but
that's when Profi was had just joined them, right? Yeah.
Correct.
So lots of changes since then, of course. All right, nice. EB's going to be happy with that. Most teams
from his level 1
already.
helmet up to a level 3. Always happy to see that. Yeah.
Oh my God! Blaston just ran straight in, and Tizarin's going to get a clean up here. Sampai, you're done. Obviously, with CrowCrowd. CrowCrowd, I mean, they start in Los Leones. How can they have this happen, CrowCrowd? This is just like, these are just the small things, the reason that CrowCrowd are in 10th. Like, they have a good lineup.
They have a great lineup. They've been playing very well in a lot of circles, but I feel like they're not ready for this, and I think they were too greedy about where they want, like how many areas they want. You can see they're still in a big split. If you also have the map screen open, obviously, there, and you can see it in the minimap as well. Kemba's there quite close, but the other guys, they're actually trying to hold down all of Los Leones.
Yeah, like Set's on north side of Los Leones. Tab is on south of Los Leones. Los Leones is massive.
Yeah, they need to stick together here, especially with this. We see that their teams are rotating faster and faster, especially some of the teams that are closer. They want to get into some of these spots, and especially with this circle. We've seen it end around the western side of Los Leones again and again and again. So obviously the teams want to go there and grab some of those high-tiered compounds.
Yeah, we saw, as I was saying with Froz, we saw quite a few urban finishes last week. So the circle absolutely will go there now. We're aware of it.
And you know what? We've actually, you and I, have casted a few actual Los Leones endings where it's been Los Leones, and that was some of the most fun casting I've ever had. That's some of the amazing stuff. 60 though, take some shots. Good. Tab is nearly connecting some of those.
On the full south side, yeah. You back away from this one, mate. You got no support. Sigsy won't know that though. But now we realize it's like only one person shot at me, guys. I'm safe. He's like backing away from this one, very much safe. So M19, they took the southern island route once again through Los Higos, Fuzz, FaZe, and Co. Probably expect FaZe to come in pretty late on this one based on the torrid drop they had. I mean, it was a horrible plane.
It was a rough plane. Yeah, I managed to see it just before I got in here. And they're going to have a long rotation. So honestly, if we see a eastern circle or center shrink, I'm going to see them go all the way on the western side and try to come in on the east or the eastern side and try to come in on the eastern side of Los Leones, because it has been so open often because the players, they know that it ends on the west side, so they try to get in on the west side and the north side. We've seen it again and again, and FaZe have some of the best rotations in the game, so I would love to see kind of a southern, all the way south and all the way to the eastern side rotation for them if we see a centering up all eastern circle from there. G2 is going to be coming in quite late, I feel like, compared to how close they are usually at here, but they're going to be coming in on the eastern side of Los Leones, maybe take some of the high ground spots.
They're long looters, aren't they, G2? They're always very slow in coming in. Now, whether that's down to...
I think they're prioritizing their scopes, they're prioritizing their mets. They want to make sure they have everything, because if you're a very mechanically skilled player and you win more fights, get more kills because of that, that's overall in 96 games, that's gonna net you a few extra points here and there if you have that 6x or 8x on your guns.
And it's working out for them. They have 10 wins throughout. They've been one of the most consistent teams.
And I'm happy to see that, compared to how we saw them kind of dip off in Phase 1.
I was worried after Phase 1 that they missed out on that 1 point with Winstrike, that they may, internally combust.
Yeah.
Which we've seen happen many times.
But this time, we're going to get to see G2 at a LAN that has a small BO, where I feel like that's where they're really going to show what they're made of when we have a short amount of games. I'm not sure how many it is. I think it's 18.
Europe is coming with 4 tournament teams. Let's face it. With Navi, FaZe, G2 Liquid, they are tournament teams bred for the best of 12 sort of formats.
I love it.
Yeah, that's what they are.
Definitely. Western Shrink here we see. And this is massive for some of these teams. You can see how stacked the eastern side is. But this is massive for some of the teams that were already in the kind of the center. And on the west side, Liquid especially, Digital Analytics, FaZe Clan, they're going to be taking a really great spot here. I think Digital Analytics, they're going to be splitting in a 2-2 split with the Church and somewhere else.
Navi are going to get into their favorite compound, aren't they?
Most likely, yeah.
Yeah, Aduzi's already there. He's thinking it's open, boys. I don't know how. DA have allowed them to have it. They've won from this compound a couple of times now. As you can see from the rotations, it's pretty messy. Team Liquid are going to group up. They decided the 2-2 is not going to work, but look down the south. Look at the east. It's G2. I think they're actually going to take. They're going to go south. I would suggest they went north, but obviously we have the benefit of hindsight of seeing the entire map. M19 looks like they're going to come in the backside of FaZe, but there's still a lot of compounds up for grabs in and around this area. TSM going to creep in on the edge of Picado.
Reciprocity also on the rotations.
Oh, they did go 2-2, Team Liquid.
Yeah,
That's ballsy.
It's a big 2-2 actually.
Yeah.
South of Picado and southwest Picado, especially that crossroads compound right now, as you see here, very closely. Samty is there in the middle, and that's a wide split. They're not going to be able to support each other, but as we see them do again and again in Circle 2, when Circle 3 pops, they are ready in their cars. All 4 players are ready in their cars, whether it shifts east or west, because they don't want to split in Phase 3 unless they can really, really do that. We'll see. Lead player here from N19, he's going to be rotating, and obviously they're going to be coming in on the southwestern side. They could potentially clash here with FaZe Clan, depending on how deep FaZe Clan will be going. Last game's winners.
That's a big deep south switch.
That's a big one as well.
Yeah.
And it is the right one. I actually like this because this is the secure rotation, and they know that the western side is going to be very open because the circle was very shrank west. And the teams that were on the western side, they have so much space to come in, so they can take a lot of space in the center.
They're going to try and go all the way over Kumisera way, I think, as well. We'll see whether they continue in the way they go in. ENCE doing a similar rotate as well. Actually may come into one another. NIP in a little bit of trouble here. Miracle already down as well, so not good. NIP, they're in the chase. They were one of the favorites to chase for me with TSM. They finally had their PCs, and it showed last week. They had a really big performance last week, but TSM are the team that are holding them at bay from the hillside.
Just Paul Murado just popping the ties. And obviously TSM knows that it is an IP, so they're going to be focusing them extra hard because they are the team trying to hunt them down. M19.
This southern rotation's getting messy. Look, so Reciprocity are going deep. They're going to go right around the west into Kumisera's side, which is good. ENCE, though, coming right in the back of M19. You can see them repositioning there, but also G2 are on the way down south. This is a massive rotate from G2. Bear in mind, they're starting El Azahar. They've come all the way around the edge of Los Leones, and now they're continuing. And is Kane going to continue down south? No, surely he's going to go north now. Okay, they are going to go north.
Go in, yeah.
So
we'll see this next string here. It's going to be an important one. Obviously, we've seen it again and again go very center. And the center kind of sends us up a bit south.
On to Navi. Yeah. This compound that they've held has won them multiple games. I was very surprised to see Digital Athletics leaving it and going further north.
Yeah, but they have the Church 2-2 split, which is also very respectable. And both from the Church, I would say that right now they should take the guys that are close to the road compound, take that and go up to the Church, because you can easier push from the Church side than you can do from the road side. And the road side is most likely going to be crashed by some of these teams as well.
FaZe and ENCE and CrowCrowd all crashing into the same location. We're watching NIP coming down south, but the south side is where it's all about to happen. Vitality also trying to crash in onto Team Liquid, trying to catch their 2 members out. There's a crate, don't care about that one. That's a Mark 14 in the middle of nowhere at the moment, but it is down here. You can see Natus. So Team Liquid, they're 2-2. They've pulled away. They've got away safe. It has got a little close. So FaZe in the ditch. ENCE up on high. G2, Reciprocity all coming in behind them. It is very crowded back here. What's going on?
Oh, the rotations here. Skoom has spotted.
He's going to pull up.
He's going to pull up and start shooting at them, which is obviously the right thing to do to scare them off, but G2 is going to stop in front of them and be effectively gatekeeping them as well.
What's going on in the middle here? The Knights and DA all crashing in. There's Team Liquid, so they're going to pull into the ditch. There's DA, they found the compound. Most of these teams going into similar compounds. They've been in this situation before, the Knights and DA fighting. Last time around, DA actually came out on top, but Jazza gets involved from range. Iro, he got himself and Grozer in there, but he's already been knocked. Can they finish him before he creeps in?
And this was a big rotation here.
Big hit.
Jazza managed to finish him off. One of them big players from Vitality. Jazza's a very skilled young talent as well. M19 and Liquid though.
Oh, this is bad for M19, the team that's been trying to chase and get out of that relegation zone. Getting Team Liquid pulling up. They've got nothing to lose, Liquid. They're up and safe in the top 4. James and Ibby strikes them down. Samty's been lost, but it's going to be M19 out in 16th place. Not what they needed. You can see the points on the board there. They were chasing on Digital Athletics. Just 13 points. It was in reach and grasping distance, but they go down. And that is a big fat 0 for them.
Very unfortunate for them here. Some fights. You can hear that, the AUG in the background here. I love that sound. not being shot at, but shooting with it. It's a fantastic gun. And what I want to take away from this is that Liquid, they saw Digital Analytics leaving this church area and took that immediately because it was a better spot than their old compound, because Digital Analytics, they left the church area. They took this over extremely fast. So being able to be aware how many teams, how many players, seeing them leaving the splits and everything, especially because it happens so often in Phase 3, is just being so aware, and having that game sense is just what makes these players some of the best in the world.
Reciprocity that low on loot that they decided to smoke out and get the loot off thriftily there. There was a double smoke just to get the loot. They could have just pulled away from that and ignored it. But
Ooh, the Northern Shrink.
There's the yoink. Now, last time we
Digital
had this
Analytics, they're
position,
laughing. Look at that.
FaZe had to push into the back of Navi, and it didn't go so well, mainly down to third party. Look how many teams are down here in the south. TSM, FaZe, ENCE, Reciprocity, G2, CrowCrowd, all going to move in. Navi, the gatekeepers, they could pick up a lot of kills, but look at Raise Your Edge. They're in a position on the edge, along with Winstrike. Winstrike, I'm not sure about Winstrikes. Raise Your Edge, I feel they could sneak in here fairly unscathed.
Yeah, they could most likely or definitely get into the next circle. The question is, and the big thing in this circle here is that we have a big road, very wide road with basically no cover
with a
on
massive
it.
ditch the other side.
On massive ditch on both sides. So what's going to happen is we're going to see a lot of teams deciding what side do I want to play on, because you don't want to cross this road to either the north or the southern side. You don't want to cross that on foot later, unless you have 500 smokes, obviously.
Last time we had this position, Winstrike are going to take the compound, obviously, to the crossroads, but we saw them sending it and going in straight onto D8. Obviously, the Knights and DA, they're going to continue that nice headshot from Rory.
Nice shots from Rory there. One of the potential Nations Cup players. If TSM, they maintain their 5th spot.
ENCE in trouble here. They're splintered, they're shattered. Rustamar's been caught out. He's going down in a hail of bullets. Mexi will be the one that will pick up the kill. Mikaz now the last man standing. It's going to be Bestlosh actually that confirms the kill. Squeaky also down. Mikaz, the last man. Where's he going to go? Don't really know. NIP trying to send it. They're going on to Winstrike's compound. Winstrike haven't really got into this yet. There's only Nuki and Jorski there at the moment. That's going to be Mikaz down. ENCE down in 15th place. The chase still continuing on the relegation zone. Winstrike, meanwhile, they are chasing 9th place. They are sat right down there looking to try and get that big 15,000, but it's not working out for them just yet. FaZe, G2, and Reciprocity all fighting down south.
Great rotation here from NIP. Unfortunately, they lost 2 players to this. Gaxi has this, though. EB 5 kills. Checking off Jorski. Scoom's going to go down to this, or finish off by the zone. Reciprocity with the long rotation didn't pay off. Fortunately, it shrank away from them. Uber here in a good spot. Nades are coming in, though.
It's Tab, I think. Tab's the other side. So Uber and ENCE have managed to get over the road. They've got a 2-2 split either side of the road down the south. That's just gone past him. Oh, just about gets away with it. He just healed himself up, has to cancel out. Only got the 10 hit points from a smoke out by himself. Some sort of freedom, but look at that. Chris is down in the ditch.
This is some massive southern fight here.
Raise Your Edge. Look at the aggression. Look at the aggression. Fast Rail and Chris are pushing in to get some of these third-party kills. They're coming in behind them. Mex is about to come over the brow of the hill. Sees Shiv and Hackseti down there. Former teammate has to back away as Shiv cuts the nade on Kane.
Rotations are still coming in a little bit faster.
Sets blasting
Foot
in the car.
Yeah, look at this. Hax is going to be healing up a little bit, but the foot rotations here from Raise Your Edge, they're fantastic. They're going to be gatekeeping this. Uber going to take down Tab.
Massive round from both FaZe. Possibly here, Sigsy gets involved. Raise Your Edge chasing the points. Meanwhile, TSM are falling to Team Liquid in the compound in the picture-in-picture. Gustav and Michael, the last 2 standing. For them, it is an absolute battlefield down here as CrowCrowd fall. Now you can see FaZe, they're going to try and make the push, but they've got Hackseti in the back and Shiv.
They're going to be rotating in here on foot again.
They're going to
Hax is going to be going down to the zone. 3 damage per second. He's going to be going down to that and dying off. 4 kills, though, for Reciprocity. Respectable considering how long of a rotation they had. Raise Your Edge, though, the circle, though, on the other side, it did shrink on the north and south, so FaZe Clan, Na'Vi, Raise Your Edge, Team Liquid, TSM, NIP, and Winstrike, they are going to have to move. Vitality is looking extremely good in this circle. Winstrike is still fighting NIP in our picture-in-picture. Shiv is going to try to survive this, but Mexi's going to spot him very soon. FaZe Clan with 3 kills so far.
This is big for DA. NIP making the push, though. Oh, Shiv spotted. Mexi will collect that one. 4 kills and counting for FaZe as they continue to move. Raise Your Edge. There's 2-2 widespread. They need to group up quickly on Unity while Navi and FaZe look to engage on the south. Still trying to find Michael, Team Liquid. Team Liquid picked up a lot of
Gaxi!
kills, but Gaxi going off once again. How many times have we seen NIP destroying Winstrike? It's just not good. It's Gaxi once again. It was VOD before. It's just poor old Winstrike. They can't buy any luck against NIP.
No, it's very unfortunate. Michael, he hears that
Where are they
Liquid is
going?
going to be moving. They're going to be taking. They're going to be
The
rotating
Knights?
into an open spot. I feel like maybe taking some of the shacks on the northwestern side. 2-man and a Mirado. Ibi is ready. He's looking at the car. Oh, Jim's going to be blown up by and warned it.
2 in the car. James has got a nade ready to go. I don't know where he's going to throw it. They're going to try and throw Sonic out. They hop out. They try and throw the smokes, but I don't think it's quite going to be enough here. They have a simple little tree to play with. James goes down. Ibi trying to keep himself alive. It's Vitality from Hop on High that will finish off Team Liquid in 10th place. Razor Edge sending it. They're going across to Jazza. Jazza's alone for Vitality, and Razor Edge read that so well. They just watched all the muzzle flashes, what was going on, and they pushed Jazza's position.
Jazza here sitting in the compound alone. 3xM4. 1 kill for him. He is definitely a man that can clutch. There's no nades for him though, so he can't really counter it. Rashid looks to be just accepting that they're taking the front 2 houses here. They are also the 2 houses that are the furthest into the zone, but Jazza could definitely be spoiling this. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't have a nade that he could open everything up with. Not sure they're 100% aware of his exact location, but we'll see that later. FaZe Clan trying to make his way there, May in. Makes his spotted Blast on. Blast is going to be taking him down though, and that's going to be a finish. Jazza, on the other hand,
Tries to go for it. Didn't really work out for them. FaZe fall in here. ENCE the last man. NIP, they're trying to do what Team Liquid just did. Going in a vehicle, 2 in a car. Don't think it's going to work out too well for them, though. They're getting lit up. They have managed to get themselves down. The Knights trying to catch them out. Fast Rail will confirm a kill. I tell you what, Razor Edge are collecting points after points after points. TSM, lucky that Michael is still alive, but I don't know for how long as he gets that crate.
a bit to work with here.
Circle shrinks south. Na'Vi inside, Unity inside, D8. This compound has worked out very well for them so far.
Oh,
that nade
nice
right
nade.
on top of Jazza.
Literally collected it. Asper's going to go for the flush. Make sure you get that 1 point. That's going to be very important for them so far.
They had 10 in the last game. They are hot on the heels of TSM.
And they're into the placement points as well now. We got 8 teams left alive. NIP, they found themselves a spot very close to...
Razor Edge on the... where? Vitality on the move. Razor Edge can collect kills here. They've just been shot at multiple times by them. Vitality going to try and find the ditch if they can get to this ridge line. They should be safe, but Razor Edge, I think, may have an angle on them there. They're safe from Unity, but I think Razor Edge have got a clean angle. They have. You can see Fast Rail and Chris taking a couple of shots on them in the side. That vehicle, all that's keeping them alive right now.
Yeah, they're going to be having to put themselves into a position as well. This is the right move for Vitality. They might be able to gatekeep Razor Edge here, depending on how close Fast Rail gets. I hope he has a lot of nades. He's going to be going to that Haybell. That's a good spot. 60 is going to follow with Minox. They're going to get a Haybell as well. They're also into the... Oh my god!
My god, actually hit Kramer. A hole-in-one from Fast Rail there. That sets them up. 60 catches, NASA's down. Razor Edge are collecting so many points in the first 2 games. This is a big problem for TSM.
Vitality finally made it into the top 7. Got themselves some kills here. Fashio's going to be pushing. He's got 4 kills already. He found him. That is going to be his 5th when he confirms that. Shadow is going to be ready here. Unity, though, on the other hand, they needed this. They need to have a massive, massive week to survive. I doubt it's going to happen because they're already very far behind. And we see that the relegation kind of spot teams there are extremely hungry. Nass is going to be done. That is X-Chris. Going to be finishing him off. It's going to go. The kill is going to go to Fazral though, so that is his 5th kill.
DA, I don't believe have too many kills, but they will get placement points here. They don't have Iro, the star player for the team. Obviously, we saw the rest of them stepping up, but they have had a poor performance so far. With M19 going down early though, it will give them that little bit of cushion that they lost from the last matchup with the likes of Reciprocity picking up the win. Razor Edge though spreading out in that northern side, looking golden at the moment. That nade on towards Shadow. They've got to deal with him. They can't just leave him out the back there.
It was actually 60 that got the knock there on Nasus earlier, so X-Chris confirmed that for him. Faster not on 5 yet. Most likely will get it though. NBS is going to be found from Ninjas in Pyjamas. They're going to be getting 1 point from the placement. Navi is getting ready here, and they could get in. Unity, though, they're destroying their hopes and dreams right now. Unity is even further outside the zone here. Aren't you going to finish off Pokemon after they found him? And now all the focus is going to be on the southern teams. Knights and Vitality and Ratio Edge, they're going to be fighting on the north. Digitalytics, they're going to be having to do something actively here. Otherwise, they're not going to be getting any kills. Everybody's going to be killing each other off.
Fast Rail pushing a little too deep there, and the Knights may well catch him out. They catch Chris at range back at the hay bale. The Knights themselves need to secure as many points as they can in that 8th spot, making sure they don't get caught up by the likes of Winstrike. Fast Rail, this nade, how big can it be? It was cooked, it was cooked, it was cooked. It goes towards Drayden, pops out, gets one down. Reels popped off. There's the nades coming in, so now they have 2 down. 60 going to try and come in. This nade is looking good. It's lined up well. It's going to get tossed out towards Wanted. Can it catch them out there?
Oh.
It does. Drayden goes for the peak. He can't catch it. Chris will bleed out in the end there. Fast Rail also goes down, and Razor Edge down to 2, and Unity trying to take advantage of this. They squeezing around the side.
Try to get into the shack here. They're going to be just on the edge, though. Still fighting on the southern side. Orange going to take down a Doozy. Meanwhile, 60 is trying to get into an even better spot here. Murder's going to find Pestalodge. Digitalytics finally joining this fight here. They're going to be having to step something up actively. Knights are still not inside this zone, and 60 and Chris here, they're going to be, or Menox, they're going to be trying to gatekeeping them. 6
kills for Menox in the previous game. He can do it. We know it. They're both pushing on. They've obviously run out of nades. Just looking to see what they can do. Snark, Wanted, and Drayden on the flank. They're trying to move as one. As a sweep around the side. Sigsy and Menox going to try and see them coming. Menox
nice
tries to
shot.
rip the head off Drayden, but it was quickly replied, and he's going to get caught down. Sigsy peeks out, but Menox has been down. So now it's a 2-on-1. Sigsy going to go for the reload. The nade comes in. That does a lot of damage, and that's going to surely spell trouble for Razor Edge. Snark, they're a little late in pushing it. Once he's trying to get the angle, trying to get the vision, sees Menox down, sees Sigsy. He's got the heal off, though. They've left it a little too late. They're going to push around the side, gets one down. They know they're going to go for the double wide peak. There you go. Nicely played from the Knights, Drayden with a wide peak. Now worked out well. 8 kills and counting for the Knights.
Playing extreme role here, the Knights. Next circle is going to go a bit to the northern side. That means Navi's going to be having to move. Unity as well. And Unity here, they should be pushing onto Knights, trying to finish them off, or at least try to gatekeep Navi a little bit more so they can get into spot. But Digitalytics, they had this compound here since Phase 3 because of their split, their 2-2 split in Phase 2. It's looking very good for them. They will most likely win this game just based off their current location here. Navi, only 1 kill. But they do have themselves a top 4, so that's already 4 additional points guaranteed. Nice shot here from Zenya.
I thought he was going to confirm it, actually. The Beautiful Death's in the open territory there. He's trying to central up as much as he can, but there really isn't a lot there. Merton Sixmo still can hold the compound. Unity with 4 alive. What can they do here? They have to deal with this threat to the north and on the road. Tizerin, he's thrown out nade after nade, but he couldn't deal with Knight. Snark's gone a little too high. Trying to get a peek on Unity. Orange will 5, Senyo, and a Doozy bleeds out in the blue. So now Unity have the freedom of the north, and a Beautiful Death trying to move for it. You can see, realizing, okay, my north side position is free. Now, here comes DA. They're moving up. Sixmo with the smoke down, and he moves on.
Coming out here, Knights will most likely try to get a few more shots onto Unity. Those are the best chances for them for getting more kills. Nades are coming out here. This could connect. No, it's not going to go far enough. Unity still has 3 nades here. This could be massive for them.
The Knights could just sit and watch this play out. Let
Definitely,
Unity and DA go at each other 4-on-3 and try and benefit as much as they can. They themselves are obviously chasing positional points. They're in 8th place, but there is a chance they could chase down Nip. There isn't a money difference between 7th and 8th, though. It's unbelievable that Nip, after such a great week last week, have already dipped down to 7th. The Knights just waiting.
Shots coming out here from Snark.
Center point in favor of Digital Athletics here. Sixmo the closest to it. Pretty much this position he's in with the smokes on the side, but the sheer amount of utility having to go out, you can see they're starting to run out. Not a great deal left. Tizerin all out, no smokes, nothing left for him. It's straight up raw battle time.
Unity 5 kills so far. If they play this right, they could take the win as well. It'll be rough though with Knights completely focused on them because they're the only one that can really see them because Digitalytics have an amazing little ditch here. Nice shots coming out here. Oh, Tizerin connecting a headshot onto Drayden.
Tries to go for it. He still pushes into the smoke. Actually stays in the smoke, goes aggressive. He's on the middle of the road there. They realize obviously the blues on the back. Snark needs to do the same. Dashdish waiting to bide his time. Drayden getting caught out. Something spots him. Tizerin is the man that will take him down. The smoke dissipated just at the wrong time for him there. And now Snark, the solo man for the Knights, hoping that Unity and D8 will do something against one another.
Only to coming out. Not even close to connecting though.
Yeah, they believe they're on the left-hand side, but they're not. Now Mert spotted. Now they see the right. Look at the wall of smoke that Snark has, though. He has himself an advantage to move in. Still 4 alive, though. He tries to get the damage done. It's DA that are taking all the damage. They're being so passive sat down here at the moment. Unity are the ones pushing.
That's very unfortunate for Snark. He got third though, but he did a lot of damage to the Zolytics.
Here we go.
They're all going to have to heal right now. They're half HP, all of them, and Unity, they can get into a great position from this.
DA have been so passive, they've allowed Unity to almost get the central point. Tizerin's move here, they've just not spotted him. They dealt with Snark though. Now they see him. Orange getting a runner on the side. 6-mo, Dashdish and Tizerin down. It's suddenly a 3-on-2. Orange is going to go huge. Gets a big hit, and look at that. DA just strike. Well, the iron is hot. They get themselves 6 kills and a win just as they were dropping down towards relegation. They answer back with a 16-point game of their own.
That's amazing for them there, and they needed this obviously. 16 points and their rotations and their 2-2 split there. Obviously, they do lose Chamasara. They had a great split with the church, and that compound right actually ended extremely close to. So that was great for them. They definitely needed this going into. But I would like to see a bit more proactiveness.
Yeah.
They could have gotten so many more kills. Obviously, they did lose Iroh, their main fragger, their massive fragger, their cannon early on to Jassa. But them, as 3, being able to get this chicken dinner here is going to be it's going to be massive for them, especially trying to avoid relegation here.
It's always the way when we're down in the final week. While obviously we're trying to focus on the top 5, who's going to get that top 5 spot, it's often the teams that are in relegation that will be starting to come out on top. They'll start to pick up the wins because, while, you know, the top 5, yeah, there's pressure on getting that top 5. There's a lot of bloody pressure on dropping out of PEL entirely.
Yeah, I mean, if you go into the relegation tournament, so we said it multiple times, we talked about it a few times, I don't think there's going to be more than one currently PEL team that's going to be surviving the relegation tournament. I think it's a maximum of 1. It could even be none.
We saw it in
you
MPL
saw
already.
it in MPL, yeah. Only 1 team survived out of the 6 that went in there, and it's going to be so rough because also playing 96 games here, the same teams, you're becoming kind of lazy, I feel like. And the 12 teams from contenders, they're going to be coming in. They already know how each other they play. They know everything about the other teams, and they're probably going to be watching PEL and learning from how the bottom teams do. So they're going to be much more prepared for the relegation tournament compared to how the PEL teams are going to be.
And it's interesting talking to the teams. A lot of them approached today and said, it finally feels like a tournament.